This week, the biggest headline globally was the return of Donald Trump. On 20th January, Trump took oath as the 47th President of the United States and got to work almost immediately. In typical Trump fashion, the President signed a slew of executive orders, 22 of them on last count to be precise. That's the highest by any US President so far. The executive orders included taking back those orders approved by his predecessor Joe Biden, withdrawing from the World Health Organization, the Paris Climate Agreement, and pardoning those convicted in the Jan 6 attack on the US Capitol, among others. But there are two specific orders that have ignited interest and a lot of debate here in India as well. The first has to do with ending birthright citizenship, and the other is on illegal immigration. Remember, that was one of the top priorities that Trump spoke about in the lead up to the election day and even his inauguration. Trump has declared a national emergency at the American borders, ordered security forces to tighten entry, and ordered a sweeping crackdown on illegal immigrants in America. It's in that context that a meeting between new Secretary of State Marco Rubio and his Indian counterpart Dr. S. Jaishankar took place. This was Rubio's first bilateral meeting after assuming charge. Jaishankar was in Washington, D.C. since Inauguration Day. He was representing India as the special envoy of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Other than this Jaishankar-Rubio meeting, there was a meeting of the Quad foreign ministers as well, where India's Dr. S. Jaishankar, US's Rubio, Australian Foreign Minister Penny Wong, and Japan's Iwaya Takeshi were present. But what do the two major executive orders by Trump mean for India? Hello and welcome to Simply Put. I am Shubham Chohan. Let's get started. First, let's start with the bilateral meeting. Indian Foreign Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar met US Secretary of State Marco Rubio in Washington, D.C. on Wednesday. While there was no word on tariffs, something that Trump has spoken about in the past, Rubio underlined the new administration's desire to advance economic ties. Jaishankar tweeted a photo of that meeting. He said the two sides exchanged views on a wide range of regional and global issues, adding that he looked forward to closely working with Rubio to advance India-US strategic cooperation. The two sides are also discussing the possibility of a meeting between Prime Minister Modi and US President Trump on the sidelines of the AI summit in Paris on the 11th and 12th of February. Addressing a press conference later, Jaishankar said he also brought up the issue of long waiting time for Indians to get a visa to USA. Importantly, illegal immigration was also discussed between the two sides. As per the American readout, Secretary Rubio also emphasized the Trump administration's desire to work with India to advance economic ties and address concerns related to irregular migration. Notably, Jaishankar's tweet did not mention talks of tackling illegal immigration. When asked about it in a press conference later, here's what the Foreign Minister of India had to say.
In terms of the reference you made, Yashwant, to the irregular migration, yes, we had a discussion on a range of issues, and one of the issues which came up was actually mobility of people. Now, we have a position on mobility which is a principal position, applies to all countries. As a government, we obviously are very much supportive of legal mobility because we do believe in a global workplace. We want Indian talent and Indian skills to have the maximum opportunity at a global level. At the same time, we are also very firmly opposed to illegal mobility and illegal migration, because you also know that when something illegal happens, many other illegal activities get joined onto it. And it's not, this is not desirable, it's certainly not reputationally good. We have, with every country, and the US is no exception, we have always taken the view that if there are any of our citizens who are not here legally, if we are sure that they are our citizens, we have always been open to their legitimate return to India. So it's not a position unique to the United States. I do understand right now that there is a certain debate going on and a resulting sensitivity which is there. But we have been consistent, we have been very principled about it, and that remains our position, and I conveyed that very clearly to Secretary Rubio. At the same time, I also told him that, look, while we understand all of this, and I also accept that these are autonomous processes, it is in our mutual interest to facilitate legal and mutually beneficial mobility. So, as I said, if it takes 400 odd days waiting period to get a visa, I don't think the relationship is well served by this. So I think he also noted that point. So let us see how we take that forward. But while I've seen some numbers, and I'm moving now to Lalit's question here, I've seen some numbers. I caution you about them because for us, a number is operative when we can actually validate the fact that the individual concerned is of Indian origin. So, we'll have to see sort of really how that goes, because it has, as I said, the basis of their stay or not able to stay, and the fact that at our end we have to verify that they are indeed Indians, because naturally there are sensitivities involved there as well.
And reports suggest New Delhi has already started taking steps in that regard. Earlier this week, a report by Bloomberg said India would take back 18,000 illegal immigrants in the US in a bid to placate Trump. The report said that while 18,000 Indian origin people living in the US illegally had been identified so far, the true number is likely to be far higher, as more people would be identified in the days to come. According to the Pew Research Center, there are about 7.25 lakh undocumented Indian immigrants in the US. They are the third largest group after those from Mexico and El Salvador. As per the official US data, Indians account for about 3% of all unlawful crossings encountered by US Border Patrol officials in fiscal year 2024. Latin American countries such as Mexico, Venezuela, and Guatemala account for a far larger share than India. But in recent years, numbers show that the number of illegal immigrants detained at the northern border of US was growing. In 2022, it was 16% of the total migrants. And in 2025 till date, it was 25% of the total migrants. A large chunk of these illegal immigrants from India belong to the state of Gujarat and Haryana. Citing lack of opportunities, these individuals pay agents lakhs of rupees, use what is called the donkey route, and enter America illegally. That route includes a travel spanning months and under extremely harsh and even risky conditions. Bloomberg's report says that New Delhi is looking to avoid a trade war with Washington. So as India gets ready to bring back these immigrants, it is also banking on Washington to show leniency elsewhere. New Delhi hopes that the Trump administration would protect legal immigrants who have entered US with a legal visa. They would be protected. That is what New Delhi is hoping, like those who have come on student visas and the H-1B. H-1B is the visa program of America that allows US employers to hire skilled migrants for specific jobs. It's often used in the tech and engineering sector. Indians accounted for almost 75% of all H-1B visas given out in 2023. Now, a section of Trump supporters say they don't like this visa program as it cuts down opportunities for local Americans. The other section, which includes the likes of Elon Musk, have been an advocate of H-1B. Trump recently expressed a balanced view, saying he liked both sides of the argument. He also said that he likes very competent people coming to America. Which brings us to the next controversial order by Donald Trump, removing birthright citizenship. Now, this is basically a constitutionally protected right that grants automatic US citizenship to babies born in the country, irrespective of the immigration or citizenship status of the parents. Birthright citizenship has been in the American Constitution for more than a century now. Following the US Civil War, Congress ratified the 14th Amendment in July 1868. This amendment stated that all people born in the country were citizens of America. The aim was to give full citizenship rights for black Americans who suffered under slavery at that point. Subsequently, this was interpreted to include all babies born in the US. Trump says nothing doing, and he has junked this right altogether. Now, given the long queue for a green card, birthright citizenship is looked at as an alternative served for many expectant couples, particularly Indians working in the United States. A Reuters report says over 1.5 lakh newborn children would be denied citizenship annually. That is, 1.5 lakh newborn children annually would be denied citizenship if Trump's order actually came into force. The move is also expected to impact millions of immigrants. Pew Research data shows US workforce has more than 30 million immigrant workers. Out of these, 22.2 million are in the US on legal work visas, while 8.3 million are unauthorized. As for Indians, America's census data shows that there are over 5.4 million Indians in the United States, which is about 1.5% of the total population. Now, 2/3 of these are immigrants, while 34% are US born. If Trump's move is implemented, children born to Indian citizens who are living in the country on temporary work visas like the H-1B or tourist visas would no longer automatically receive citizenship. This new order by Trump will kick in from the 19th of February. The ban, in fact, has already reached the judiciary. A federal judge in Seattle on Friday temporarily blocked the executive order put out by Trump. The ruling came on Thursday after a US district judge granted a temporary restraining order, halting enforcement of the policy for 14 days while the court considers a preliminary injunction. The judge called Trump's executive order blatantly unconstitutional. But the uncertainty of this order has already triggered panic. A report in the Times of India says many expectant Indian parents in the US are choosing preterm C-sections to deliver their babies before the February 19 deadline. The report says those women opting for C-sections are mainly in their 8th or 9th month of pregnancy, though few are still weeks away from reaching full term. That's all we have for this episode of Simply Put. Do like and share this video, comment and let us know what your views are, and subscribe to HW News English on YouTube for more such videos. Thanks for watching.
Stay ahead with our cutting-edge news app. Instantly access the latest shorts in just 1 minute and breaking news in just 50 words. Download now for a smarter, faster news experience.